Hello, my fabulous fifth graders. Today's lesson is about using models to multiply fractions. Our I can statement today is, I can use models to multiply fractions by fractions. We're going to extend what we learned about multiplying fractions and whole numbers to fractions by fractions. So here, we're being asked to find 1/3 times 1/4 and write the answer in simplest form. So to find 1/3 by 1/4, we're going to find the area of a 1/3 by 1/4 unit rectangle. So our first step, divide the square into 3 equal rows. How do I know 3? Because our denominator of our first fraction is 3. So I'm going to divide this into 3 equal rows. My next step is to divide the square into 4 equal columns. How do I know 4? Because the denominator of our second fraction is 4. So now I divide this into 4 equal columns. Now my model is ready. You'll remember that when I divided my square into thirds, I made rows. So I'm going to color in 1/3 of my rectangle. Now to multiply by 1/4, I need to look at where I have divided my rectangle into fourths, and I'm going to color in 1 of those fourths. And where 1/3 and 1/4 intersect, right here, this one section here is the product of 1/3 and 1/4. How many sections of the model were shaded by both colors? 1. So here's another drawing of our model. Thirds, fourths, 1/3 and 1/4. We have 1 section shaded. But how many total number of sections? Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 12 sections shaded. So 1/3 times 1/4 equals 1/12. Let's try another example. Here we're going to find 1/2 by 2/3. So my first step is to divide the square into 2 equal rows, since the denominator of my first fraction is 2. 2. I divided this rectangle in half. My second step is to divide the square into 3 equal columns, since the denominator of my second fraction is 3. So, thirds. Now, I'm going to shade in 1/2. Let's make it bigger. 1/2. And I am going to next shade 2 of my thirds. Here's 1, 2/3. Now I can look and see how many sections got shaded. I have 1, 2 sections that were shaded by both colors. So I have 2 sections that were shaded. how many total sections? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 2/6. This is an improper fraction, however. So 2 and 6 can both be divided by 2. And that gives me a simplified fraction of 1/3. So 1/2 times 2/3 is 1/3. Let's try another couple examples. Here I've got 3/4 times 1/6. You'll notice, just like our models earlier, that I have 1, 2, 3, 4 equal rows. I'm multiplying by 1/6, and I have created 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equal columns. So my first step is to shade in 3/4. Make my mark a little bigger. Here is 1/4, 2/4, 3/4. My next step is to shade in 1/6. How many sections are overlapping? I've got 1, 2, 3. So I know my numerator is going to be 3. How many total sections did I create? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 3/24. 3/24. This fraction, however, is not in its simplest form. I can tell that both the numerator and the denominator can be divided by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 24 divided by 3 is 8. So another way to write that is 1/8. Now let's try this next one over here. 3/5 times 3/4. Again, I have 5 rows. I have 4 columns. Let's see. To represent 3/5, I am going to color in 1, 2, 3 fifths. To represent 3/4, I'm going to color in 3 of my columns. 1, 2, 3 of my columns. Now, I'm going to look and see how many sections overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I know my numerator will be 9. Now, to find my denominator, I need to find how many total sections I've created. Well, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's got to be a better way. I know that I've got 5 here and 4 here. 5 times 4 is 20. Do I have 20 sections? 20 sections. 9/20. This is the simplest form of this fraction because 9 and 20 do not have a common factor greater than 1. Let's see if we can use what we've learned with a word problem. Here it says Ruby biked a trail that is 3/5 mile each way. After biking 1/4 of the trail, she stopped to rest. What fraction of a mile did Ruby bike before she stopped to rest? Use models to help you solve. Well, here I've got I'm going to draw a model, and I'll need to double check. How many equal rows do I need to make? 5. 1. And how many equal columns do I need to make? I need to make 4. My first step is going to be to represent 3/5. 3. Fifths. And now I need to represent 1/4. So I have 3/5 times 1/4. And let's see, how many sections are overlapping? 3. How many total sections do I have? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh my goodness, again? 5 times 4, that's 20. I wonder if you're noticing a pattern, because I sure am. That brings us to the end of today's lesson. Here is the W portion of your whisk. Our lesson today was on using models to multiply fractions by fractions. And our I can statement was, I can use models to multiply fractions by fractions. This is our summarizing question. And here I'm asking you to pick up on a pattern. If you weren't using a model to multiply fractions, how else could you multiply fractions without using a model? Think of what we discovered in each of our models. What made it easier than counting all the squares? I'm interested to see what you come up with. Finally, here is the Q section of our whisk. There are 2 questions I would like you to answer, and I would like you to draw a model to show the product. We have 1/6 times 2/3 and 3/5 times 1/3. I look forward to seeing what you come up with in class.